Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, getting into my sinking funds and closing them out for the month of September. So we're going to do some different things this time around. It's not just going straightforward math going across and all the things, but I am going to be making some changes and condensing a lot of things and removing categories. So I've got highlighted here the categories that I'm just doing away with, and I am condensing this to be more specific and intentional in order to have a little more available cash in my checking account every month. I think I'm putting too much in here right now, and we need to rebuild some of our savings because we did a lot of spending this week. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. This is my sinking funds closeout. I have a sinking fund set up at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month I will show you what happened and how we're closing it out. It's very simple. I do sinking funds electronically, so I make one deposit one time every month, and that number equals what I have planned here, right here, as far as all these different little deposits for all these different categories. So I have 16, well, I have more than 16 now, I think, but I have, I think here I have over 20 categories, and these categories, some of them are, like I said before, going away, and some of these categories are definitely going to stay. In this account, it is a money market account, so it does earn a little bit of interest, and I put that right here, and this gives me the exact amount that was deposited in the account total for the month of September, but I do make a note just below it on exactly what I have to move over in order for it to support all these different little categories that I'd like to support and pay for. Now, the way I get my sinking funds total is I take the number. As you can see, Amazon Prime came out for the year, and I do that annually, and for me it costs $150.68. So I was doing $12 a month, and then this past month I adjusted to $13.36 to bring this number up to match this one, and we are ending the month of September with $0.00 here, and going into October we'll be putting $12.56 into the savings account along with the rest of these. This is where I get all my numbers so that I know how much to have put aside every month. And I find doing this system the easiest way to do sinking funds. Now, many people I know in this YouTube budgeting world, they prefer to do cash, and they have cash envelopes for it. It works exactly the same way. You just get a number that you know it works for you. So some of these you would round up, like I would round up to $6 for Apple subscription, and as I get closer I would make an adjustment to the actual amount that I need and then pay it that way and take it back to the bank. I don't have a bank where I live. That's our branch. Our closest branch is 2.5 hours away. So we came from Navy Communities, and we have Navy Federal, which is great, but at the same time there is none here close to me where I live in Kentucky. So, and that's okay. Most of the time I don't use cash anyway. It's all electronic, not a big deal. So here I did make a deposit already for $592.85 this month. You would see that in my monthly budget as well as one of my paychecks to paychecks. I don't know if I did it the first half of the month or the second half. Let's see. Yeah, I did it on the first half of the month. So that was taken care of. So now I'm going to grab my calculator. Nothing else came out. I'm just going to draw a line, and nothing else happened in between these two transactions. So I did transfer $247.58 to my checking account, and I did that. Now I'm gonna have to look back. I did transfer it to the checking account for a specific reason. So there's the transfer right there. I talked about in paycheck 1, and it was part of an unbudgeted thing. So let's see what I was unbudgeted in. The hotel. So I paid the hotel with this NutriSense money. I was subscribed to NutriSense to get the discs for glucose monitoring, which was great. I did 6 months, but I miscalculated mathematically how much I would need for $265 before I ended the 6-month trial. And I still have money left over in this. So I used this to pay for the hotel that my sons had when we went Labor Day weekend to visit family. We had 2 hotel rooms. Mine and my husband's were free. And then my sons that were in another room, adult sons, I had to pay for theirs. And that was $247.58, worth the money to visit family and see everybody. I was just really happy that we got to go. And so now what I have to do is find these ending balances with all these. Where am I at, so I can set up for next month, which is going to look different. What we decided to do with the Google storage here, let's see, it's $58.32, and we're going to add the $8.33 we made a deposit on. So this line item has $66.65. Hard to write on the coil, so a little sloppy here. So that is what I have for Google Storage. Now my husband has his photos on Google Storage, both of us forgot, Amazon Prime has unlimited photos. And my husband actually had started to put some of those photos on there years ago, and then he was active duty Navy, so he deployed a lot, and they forgot about the photos he was putting over there, and we kind of rediscovered it the other day because we paid for Amazon Prime. I was looking around what all the benefits were and seeing if there was anything I missed, debating whether we're going to keep the Amazon Music subscription or not, things like that. And I noticed that and asked him, can we stop funding this, because it's $99.99 a year for the terabyte, 1 terabyte for storage with Google. And in the photos, and said, yeah, I can download those and put them on Amazon Prime, and it'll be fine. We don't have to renew that. I said, okay, let's do that. So that's going to save us a lot of money, and we'll have that available. I'm moving this Google storage into the $66.65, along with these totals in the brown area, what's left over, to car fund here, where it's already got $700. I'm moving it all over there for now, and then we'll see what we do next month with it. So Apple subscription, that is my subscription for like Excel, Word, and all the different Microsoft products to put on my MacBook Air. 83, and I put $583 a month into that, and so now we're up to $52.47. Home maintenance. So this is for any service calls, things like that for the home. $195.67 is what we started with. I'm adding $50 a month to this. We're getting close to a certain amount, and I need a little bit more, so we need to call a plumber to come out and take care of that. We don't have a water leak, but we do have a pipe that needs to be fixed. We cannot use our front water hose spigot faucet thing, because they'll flood our basement. And so we don't want that, and we want to get it protected for the winter. It gets cold in the basement, and so on and so forth. So we are almost ready with that. Orkin, I'm doing twice a year instead of 4 times a year, I think. I need to find out for sure if I've made that call or not, because I forgot already. So much has happened, and I'm adding $24 a month to that. Bleh. And that is $73.01. And our next one's not until November. And I think that's the one I'm going to skip and then do the next one for the spring. So spring and fall is when I want to do our pest control spraying and laying down granules and things like that. Let's see. CKY landfill, that's just our trash. The company name has changed. I have $90 in this. I should be getting a bill in the mail very soon with the new company name and the account information, and we'll be paying that, and I just don't have it set up on autopay just yet. So I've got to log in and create that account, but I haven't done it yet. Propane is filling up. We're at $200. And I do $20 a month to get us about $240. Our tank, our propane tank, is for our fireplace, and we used it quite a bit last year, so I want to make sure I have a good amount of money to put aside to fill that tank up and use the fireplace this winter. I'm really excited about that. And so next we have tags and taxes. So taxes and tags for your vehicle, vehicle property tax, all that stuff. We have $68.78 plus $20 is $88.78, and I basically took the amount that we paid this past June or July whenever we did our taxes and tags for the vehicles registration. I took that number, divided by 12, and then that gave me the number I needed for the deposit for this line item, and we're pretty much halfway there. So that's pretty cool. Now we were negative $9.36, so $50 minus the $9.36. This car maintenance was done, let's see, I think in May, maybe? I was going to go out of town. My parents were moving from Raleigh, North Carolina to here in Kentucky, and they are now in our city limits, so they live in the same city I do, and I had to get an oil change, I had transmission flush and a bunch of other stuff, so I went negative in this, and I knew I had enough in the account that would cover it until I got positive again. I bet you're laughing at me. I know you are. It's $40.64. Not 400. I wish it was 400, but I know that's not what's in there. So that's what we have now. Xander identity theft is about due. So 120 plus 13 gives us 133. I think the end of October is when Xander identity theft and something else is due. Norton, that's my husband's laptop, Norton protection. Let's try this again. That's $37.68 is what I have, and I do $533 a month. At the end of the 12 months, it wipes out the line item and then starts over again in the next month. So these are all revolving, and I'm always putting money in here every month. I don't get anything full. Once it's fully funded, boom, that's when it's due, and that's just kind of how I have the system set up. So that works really well. Tax prep, I have $100. I'm going to put another $20 for that, and that is just for somebody to pay our taxes and make sure we're doing everything we need and all the documentation and stuff like that. I want a professional taking care of that. And we still have this two-state thing where Virginia got paid this first few months of this year and shouldn't have. So anyways, so anniversary, got $10. I'm going to write $10 because that's what happened, but this is highlighted to let me know that this is one that I started and then I decided not to keep, and that's fine. So, but I want to account for the money because the total's still sitting there, and that this is going to be moved into car fund here. Then I have $600 for Christmas plus another $100 is $700. Cell phone tech. So basically it's for cell phones or technology. If we wanted to upgrade or anything like that, that's going away because I've been using it for other things. And I usually put $50 a month. We're not going to be doing that anymore. $386.92. What is in here is also going to the car fund. And then $8.82. I just got this into positive. I usually do $50 a month. For activities fund, to say yes to certain activities that the family wants to do. And we're just going to have to budget a different way for that. So $58.82 is what I have in there. Canva is how I do my thumbnails and create freebies and stuff like that. $50 is where we're at. That's not due until April. Epidemic Sound is the other one, so that's $133. That one is also coming due at the end of October, so that will be paid next month. And then car fund is sitting at $700 here. Originally, it was like car, Jeep, whatever. Money we're going to put aside for my husband's Jeep to get something taken care of. And then we kept putting it off, and he wasn't taking it in. So I kept accounting for the money and then decided, okay, we really need to do something. So I had to get my vehicle taken care of. And I just spent $3,000 at Nissan, the dealership where my vehicle was at. And yeah, so this is going to be depleted. And I also transfer funds from the savings, emergency fund, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. And so Roth IRA, after I turn 50, I should be able to put another $1,000, though I've used some of this money for other things. I'm trying to keep it going. And so I'm at $594. Yeah. And this, and then NutriSense. Again, I paid for my son's hotel room with the money that I over budgeted or over calculated for my 6 months subscription for that. So that's $265 minus $247.58, and I'm thankful that I did have extra money that I didn't need because I canceled a subscription and I could use it for something like this. So I am really happy about that. So $3 was a dividend that got put into the account. And that is the sinking fund. So I'm going to total up what we have here. 150.68 plus the 247.58. Okay. So that means we're subtracting $398.26. I'll make sure I hit the right keys here. Oh no, plus. Yeah, okay. I thought I hit the wrong key. So if I take what we started with, $3,578.80 plus the $595.85 minus the $398.26. Okay, so that gives us $3,776.39. So this going this way and this going this way should match. So I'm going to quickly fast forward through this part, total it, make sure it matches, and then I'll show you the savings tracker for this closeout.
So you think we can't work it out? On the back of a paper cup.
There we go. So I did make one mistake. This was not $90. 30 plus 30 is 60. I was thinking of next month when, because I do setups ahead of time as well. So I was remembering next month's number, not this month's number. And it was kind of throwing me off there. So the number matches this way and this way. So we are good, and check and check. So that is the sinking funds closeout. Again, we're going to be taking this $66.65 plus this $10 plus the $386.92, the $58.82, and this 17. No. I think this is what I'm bringing over. Yeah. Let me check my notes. If I add this 700 here for car fund, that gives me $1,222.39, which matches my notes I have off screen. And then this this is going to merge with this. And I'm just going to put it in the dividend slot because it really didn't need to be anywhere else. I didn't need to add it to the car fund. I could, but I didn't do that for whatever reason. And so that'll give me a little over $20 to add to the dividends. And dividends are just used to compensate if I don't have enough cash to just a little bit. If I'm $1 or $2 off, it's already sitting in the account, even though I usually only have to calculate 1 or 2 items at a time every month. And so usually there's enough in the account to support any spending that kind of goes negative or out of the area of what the norm is. Like I could have used this $20 to cover that and things like that. So that is the sinking fund. So I do have a savings tracker. Ignore all this. This is I finished up the pages I had for a spending tracker, and I'm almost to the end of the month. So I'm going to cover this up and we're just going to ignore that part. It's just a way of continuing the spending. So tracking the spending. Hopefully I have enough lines till the end of the month, but we'll see. All right, so the emergency fund, I took $10,000 out and transferred that into our checking account from our Edward Jones bank account. I was so sad to do this, but I had to because we just did a spending on Orkin, who is our pest control, doing all new insulation in our attic spaces with pest control stuff in it. That way, no squirrels or other critters get into those spaces and start having babies and living rent-free in those areas. I can't have that. So we went ahead and invested in this. And then it was $1,300 that I transferred over. And this $3,000 is also part of the home fund. So I went ahead and had that moved over. So, and then part of the emergency fund was $30,000 for the vehicle emergency things I had to do to keep the vehicle running long term. If I didn't have those things fixed, the damage would have been more costly and it would have broke down and I would have been stranded. So that's not good. It's not good at all. So anyways, this is where I stand as far as the how much came in and went out for this month. So we did have some earnings for this, but it's going to be less going forward, which I'm sad to see, but we're up to $451.13. I don't know if this withdrawal is going to change that amount that it earned for this time period in this month, but if it does, I'll go back and make the adjustments later, but we're going to be sitting at $24,451.13. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I know I have a vacation fund here. I don't think I want to move it over. I think I just want to let it sit. And I might just have emergency fund only instead of dividing it all out, because I'd like to build this back up to $30,000 at least. And that way I know we have more than a year of expenses sitting in the savings here that's making good amount of money. So that's what I want to do there. And that's the savings tracker. So it's just been a long week, and after I got sick last week as well, and so it's been crazy. But like I said, it's just one of those days. But here's my sinking funds and my savings tracker. This is just how I track my spending on my credit card. I haven't made my payment to Orkin or to the credit card yet after having a lot of purchases, but as you can see, this money here is going to cover this, and I need a few extra dollars to cover it all, but $3,086.34 plus the $9,242 plus the $1,200. These were two different invoices for the whole thing for specific reasons. One of them's for tax reasons and Energy Star stuff, and the other one was the other stuff, so they separated out. So we did spend $13,528.34, and I pulled 13, so I was a little short on that, but that's why I merged all these. The car fund by itself was enough at $700 to cover the $528.34. So that was enough to cover it, but I wanted to make sure I have money in there. So it will be I will be taking this out this amount out to cover the credit card and pay that. So once I make the payments, I'll fill it in here and we will be good to go. And yeah, that is my adventure this week, Sinking Funds Savings Tracker. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learning how, when you have an emergency, what can you do to optimize your money and kind of review, are you doing wisely with your money, and see if there's areas you can cut back on, which is what I did here in my sinking funds. And I think it's going to turn out really well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.